Welcome to the group of Acosido, Peronilla, Lajao-lajao, and Berjes. We are to present about GMO, the story of GMO. How would it affect us, or what is the impact of GMO in our lives or to the future now? So welcome. Okay, so let me present you the researchers of this topic. So come in, researchers. Yeah, come on. Yeah, okay, so here they are. Here is Maeko Acosido, the one on the left. The one in the center is Jhona Lajao-lajao. The third one on your right is Jamille Berjes. So these people are the one are responsible of researching the topic of GMO. So let's give them applause, no? So they did a good job here. But of course, we should not forget the person or this voice that is talking to you right now, no? So please, I would like to also introduce to you the one and only narrator for this, or let's say presenter for this presentation, Ronvel Peronilla. Please, Ronvel Peronilla, come in. Yes, that's me. Okay. Okay, so this is me. I will be the one presenting, or will be having a voiceover this presentation. Okay, so we would start on the story of GMO. Okay, we're going to start. What is the story of the GMO? Okay, so GMO was first made by the two people named Stanley Cohen and Herbert Boyer. They made the first genetically modified organism in the year 1973. So it's a bacteria, it's a bacteria resistant to the antibiotic kanamycin. Okay, I don't know how would it how would you pronounce it, but moving on. It is the first genetically modified organism, no? So we would proceed. So what is a GMO? A GMO is as we've said, is a genetically modified organism, no? Whose genetic material has been altered using genetic engineering, okay? Engineering techniques, okay? The exact definition of a genetically modified organism and what constitutes genetic engineering varies, with the most common being an organism altered in way that does not occur naturally by mating and or natural recombination. A wide variety of organisms have been genetically modified, from animals to plants and microorganisms. Genes have been transferred the same species across species, creating transgenic organisms, and even across kingdoms. New genes can be introduced, or indigenous genes can be enhanced, altered, or knocked out. So, how it affects the product? Genetic modification produces genetically modified animals, plants, and organisms. If they are introduced into the environment, they can affect biodiversity. For example, existing species can be overrun by more dominant species. So, let's talk about the pros and cons of GMO. What benefit do we receive from it, or what is the effects or bad effects of these GMOs to us? So the first benefit or the pro of this GMO is that manufacturers use genetic modification to give food desirable traits. For example, they have designed 2 new varieties of apple that turn less brown when cut or bruised. See? So second is the reasoning usually involves making crops more resistant to disease as they grow. So look at this. Plants are like humans, no? So when you put GMO into them, they become resistant to these viruses, no? So they become healthy, no? So that when they are growing, they are not prone to diseases or viruses that spreads into other plants, no? So they won't be affected. The third is crop protection. Is the main rationale behind this type of genetic modification. Plants that are more resistant to diseases spread by insects or viruses results in higher yield for farmers and a more attractive product. So as we said here in the second example, so genetically modification can also increase in nutritional value or enhance the flavor of the food. So let's imagine this. There's this, I guess, research, no? I think we're going to tackle this, but I'll explain it to you later. And let's go to the cons, no? The cons is there are things that are still has a downside, no? Just like the second one here is that the GMO can cause allergic reactions to us humans, no? So the next is cancer. So some researchers believe that eating GMO foods can contribute to development of cancer. They argue that because the disease is caused by mutations in DNA. So as we have noticed, the good effect outright the bad effects of the GMO. So you could benefit more than do harm to yourself or do harm to us, no, as humans. So that's it. Let's proceed to the good effects of GMO. So in the winter of 2014, the students of Iowa University received emails asking them to volunteer for an experiment. Researchers were looking for women who would eat banana. The yellow-orange nutrients that take their name now. This banana has carotenes. These carotenes can be found from so this carrot has a yellow-orange nutrients. Our bodies use alpha and beta carotenes to make retinol. Better known as vitamin A. The experiment was testing how much of the carotenes in the banana would transfer to vitamin A. The research were part of an international team trying to end vitamin A deficiency. So there was this named Dr. Chuck Maynard who worked with the team at the Sunny College of Environmental Science and Forestry that includes high school student, undergraduates and graduate student, postdoctoral fellows, and colleagues from their other institutions and volunteers. So their project here, or their experimentation, is the American chestnut tree. So the article here is giving, and the context of this article is that their American chestnut tree is easily gets the blight, no? So if you don't know what blight is, there's the blight right there. So this blight destroys the tree itself, curving a hole into the tree. So there's a picture there. In order to avoid this blight, they took a gene from a wheat. So they extracted a gene from wheat that produces an enzyme called oxalate oxidase, or OXO, which detoxifies the oxalate that the fungus uses to form deadly cankers on the stems. So that's the presentation here, and thank you for listening. I am Ronvel Peronilla, the narrator of this presentation, and I we'll see you in the next project, I guess, if we are able to make this like, again. So goodbye. I'm just going to do it. Okay, guys.